honest with you, if you are an African student or if you're a student coming from a developing country, studying abroad might be hard. I can't lie to you. Not might, it's very, very hard. I can't lie to you. So it's a combination of funding and your brain. If you have one of those, the chances are that you're gonna go there. But in brief, it's hard for students, from developing countries to have a chance, to experience education from developed countries. Remember that you have to pay the application fee, the admission fee, and then tuition. The thing is that if you are good at looking for opportunities and if you're really good at chasing opportunities, there's so many scholarships you can apply to go to Japan and have your education there. In this video, I'm going to be focusing only on postgraduate education. I have received multiple messages from various people asking me about studying from abroad, and today I decided to talk about some of the opportunities that are available for various students to have education in developed countries like Japan, the UK and the US. Most of the questions that I received were asking about studying in Japan, so that's what I'm going to talk about. To be honest with you, if you are an African student or if you're a student coming from a developing country, studying abroad might be hard. I can't lie to you. Not might, it's very, very hard. I can't lie to you. So it's a combination of funding and your brain. If you have one of those, the chances are that you're gonna go there. But in brief, it's hard for students, from developing countries to have a chance, to experience education from developed countries. You can have great education in the UK, in the US, in Australia, and in Japan, Many people want to have education in Japan for some reasons. Actually, the major one is that you can have high quality education, in Japan, but at a very low cost. The tuition in Japan is, just a drop in an ocean compared to the tuition in the US and the tuition in the UK. So today, I wanted to answer some of the, the most great questions that have been asked by various people, that is talking about various opportunities. So if you're a student who wants to study in Japan, are you able to fund your studies? Remember that you have to pay the application fee, the admission fee, and then tuition. The thing is that if you are good at looking for opportunities and if you're really good at chasing opportunities, there's so many scholarships you can apply to go to Japan and have your education there. In this video, I'm going to be focusing only on postgraduate education. I made a video about the 2 major scholarships that you can apply for to have your education in Japan, especially if you are coming from an African country. So the video is here. If you have time, you can go through it. But for now, I'm going to be talking about the opportunities that are available for those students or people who are interested in studying at a postgraduate level in Japan. Okay. The scholarships that are available to study in Japan, they fall in 3 major categories. Number 1 is the scholarships that are university recommended. The scholarships that are embassy recommended, and the scholarships that are not recommended by the university and not recommended by the embassy, but you just apply directly to them. I'm going to be talking about all these scholarships, and I'm going to be starting with the university recommended, and then the embassy recommended, and finally the direct ones. What are university recommended scholarships? These are scholarships to which you apply through your university. It's your university that probably talk on your behalf. They help you to submit the documents and everything. So basically the university acts as the promoter, They seek assistance, on your behalf. Those are university recommended scholarships. One of the examples of these scholarships include MEXT. MEXT is a very, very great scholarship that is offered to various international students from various countries, and you can apply to this scholarship through your university. So it's your responsibility to ask your university or request your university or contact your university and ask them about this scholarship and ask if you're eligible to apply to it and if they're willing to recommend you. Another scholarship that you can apply to is called JASO scholarship. That's a very good scholarship, but compared to other scholarships, I noticed that its stipend is actually lower compared to that of other scholarships, but still, one is always better than zero. So apply, try every opportunity that comes your way. The second category of these scholarships is the embassy recommended. So if you are coming from any country that has a Japanese embassy or a Japanese consulate, you just have to go to the embassy and then inquire about these scholarships. The examples I know about these scholarships include MEXT. MEXT is a Japanese government scholarship which is very good, they cover your tuition, your flights and everything, and I think you have a chance to do some internships at various companies. And another scholarship that falls under that category is the ABE initiative, ABE initiative. This one is basically for those candidates or students who are interested in studying more about development or development related courses, so that after their degrees or after their master's degrees, they can go back to Africa and contribute to the development of farms or companies that are established there. This ABE scholarship gives you a chance to study any development related course at any Japanese university, and it like MEXT, it covers your tuition, living expenses, and you have a chance to do some internships at various great companies, I think in Japan. To apply to this scholarship, you must look for JICA offices. JICA is JICA. If you have any JICA offices in your country, I advise you to go there and ask about these scholarships to know more about them. Ask about the application deadline, the requirements, and everything. The reason why I'm asking you to go to these offices is that websites are not always updated. So if you have the capability to reach, to the office, it's always better for you to go there and inquire, to get the right information. Of course, you have to go to the website, but still, it's good for you to get the information, by going there, because the websites might not be updated. In addition to those categories, there can be scholarships, that are awarded to great students, by universities directly. So in this case, just have to submit your application and then they can consider you for funding. However, you have to confirm from your university if you have to submit a separate application for you to be considered for the scholarship. For some universities, you might find that you just have to submit your documents. once you apply, they consider you for any funding that's available. So you don't have to submit any additional application. But for some universities and some scholarships, you might need to submit a separate application for you to be considered. The third and the last category of the scholarships is direct. That is where you, the student, apply for funding from various organizations or private foundations or private companies. The first example of this category is private foundations. These are foundations that give you funding depending on your course or on your project. Under private foundations, I'll just give you an example of Otsuka. Otsuka is a very great foundation. They support or they sponsor students who are mainly in life sciences. Life sciences, because this is a very big organization that is dealing in, medical supplies and foods and vitamin supplements. So they do so many things. So basically their products are about health promotion, and I think that's why they mainly support students who are studying life sciences. These are very great scholarships, but most of them offer you funding after you get the admission from the university. Another thing you have to consider is that depending on your application and depending on the course you're going to do and depending on other factors, I don't know, you will get various amounts. You'll get various amounts from these organizations. The example I'm going to give you is about Otsuka. For Otsuka, I think they give about 1.5 million yen per year, or they can give you 1.5 million per year or 2 million yen per year. I think depending on the course or on your application. I don't know other factors they consider, but they give those two amounts. Another example is Honjo scholarships. This is a foundation that also supports international students to have postgraduate education in Japan. But I think for this scholarship you must be able to speak some Japanese. So you will have to confirm this. I'll put a link of all these scholarships in the description, so you'll have to confirm this. I read that about private foundations, there are about 88 scholarships for those students who are residing in Japan, and there are about 18 scholarships for those students who are staying outside Japan. So you all have a chance to try out these scholarships. All these are great foundations, but most of them require you to first have admission from the university before you apply for funding from them. About these are private foundations. It's better for you to check their website to know the requirement, because some of them require people who can speak Japanese. Some of them don't care if you can speak English or Japanese, doesn't matter, provided that you can conduct the interview either in English or in Japanese. So you confirm that before you apply. The other thing you must put into consideration when you're applying to these scholarships is that some scholarships cannot allow you to have other scholarships while taking up their scholarship. So you really have to confirm that before you apply. Another way you can get funding to have education in Japan is through private companies. A very good example of this is Toyota. Toyota is a very big company, and it gives out various scholarships to various students, especially those residing in Japan. So I advise you to check for these scholarships on the web pages of these companies independently, but I think these companies give students who are studying something that is related to what they are doing. For example, if you're applying for Toyota, I think they'll consider a person who is going to study business than a person who's going to study maybe medicine. I'm not so sure, but this person, if this person is going to study business, the chances are that this person can work for them in the future than the person who's going to be more in research about medicine or anything, right? So check the eligibility criteria for those scholarships, but just want to tell you that even those chances do exist, so try them out. The last example of the direct application for funding is Rotary scholarships. Rotary scholarships or Rotary Foundation. This is a foundation that gives a chance to students to study about peace building and conflict resolution in four major countries. That is Japan, UK, US, and Australia. Those are the major countries that I'm aware of. There are probably other countries as well, but those are the major countries that I'm aware of. So to apply to these scholarships, you just have to fill in the online application and submit it to your Rotary district. So when you submit your online application, it's your Rotary district to assess it, and then after you do the interview. After doing the interview, they will submit your name to the major body, and then they will decide if they give you funding or not. If you're going to study about peace building and conflict resolution and development under this scholarship, you must go to specific universities. I think these are universities that have ties with the Rotary Foundation. In Japan, for example, you must go to ICU, that is International Christian University in Tokyo. In the UK, you must go to Bradford University, and then in America, there is a specific university. In Australia, there is a specific university. All these scholarships are great, so I advise you to try them all, if you can. I'm going to put a link. I am going to insert the links for all these scholarships I've mentioned in the description, so don't forget to check that. So when you open them, check the eligibility, and after that, check if they offer the courses you are interested in. And then after that, provided you qualify and they have the course you're interested in, I can't say anything else apart from asking you to give them a try. They're very competitive, but if people can win them, people like you can win them, what about you? Can also do it. So that's all, guys. Thank you so much for listening. In case I find any other scholarships, of course, I'll be updating you. Thank you, and go for them.